See you on the other side.
Oh, we didn't even get our little.
No, we didn't.
We're just live.
We're just live.
That's weird.
Yeah, tonight's going to be a little different because, well, things happened.
Life happens.
Yes, life happened.
Life happened, but that's okay. We can have just a chill day today.
Yeah.
Basically, they'll promote the shit out of us too.
Yeah. Hi, viewers. Normally, this would be where I would introduce us as Newark by Night, and we would quickly move into a narrative about whoever was first that night. Sometimes it's Sage, sometimes it's Amelia, because they're the ghouls. They wake up, but they're awake before the vampires are. Prunella, and so on. Unfortunately, some of our folks were feeling under the weather, so we thought we'd do a Q&A episode. So, Q&A episode.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's where we're at right now. It was a Q&A episode, and right now it looks like it's just us in the chat.
And Michael. There's some.
And Michael. Hi, Michael.
Michael.
Hello.
That's because we didn't really promote tonight, though. But I'm working on it.
I got some people joining.
Hi. Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
We're having a Q&A episode because some of our players were feeling under the weather. So, yeah.
So if you have any questions.
Yeah. If you have any questions, we can talk about what's going on with the show. I can show you what some of my notes look like when I'm preparing for a session. I can show you the tools I use during a session. So, yeah.
Let's get promoting, Kate. Ignore me with only one eye done.
That's all right.
It's a day.
Also tracks for Sage.
I'm just gonna do this one day where I'm literally just on stream, like no fucks. We're just full on doing a makeup tutorial as y'all are doing your shenanigans.
Okay. So Techo, you said you are down for a ST background stuff. So I will share how I prepare my notes for a session, because I figured out how to share the screen with this particular tool set, so I'm going to do that. So let's see here, and I just need to get it pulled up. All right. And my notebook is here. So this is how I do session notes. It's just a quick thing. I'm going to actually show notes for a session that we're not about to do.
Screenshot. I mean, wait, no? Just kidding.
No. But so these are the notes from the Halloween episode. And I don't know how well you can see them. But basically, I write descriptions of the opening scenes, and then I just add some little touchstones of things I want to touch on from the session. Little bits. And so, yeah, this is just a quick example. Things get sort of thrown into a document, and some of these things never showed up, and that's fairly typical for my notes. Some of the things we just never get to, or what have you, like Miss Fortuna's Hall of Carnal Delights is seemingly a peep show, but in reality you see what your life would have been like if you'd stayed alive. Which, yeah, it's so it was a thing that I had sort of put in there. It's like, we can do this. Never showed up on camera because it wasn't a direction anybody went. But that was a Halloween episode. I had a lot more leaning into the horror themes, and I used as my sort of mental image of what this might be like. There's a movie called Something Wicked This Way Comes that was made by Disney in the 80s that is utterly terrifying in some regards. It's a sort of coming-of-age horror movie where a circus comes to town and a couple of kids get involved, and I always loved it. It's amazing. If you can ever find it, go watch it. I have a scene I have to skip over because I'm arachnophobic, and watching spiders is not my favorite thing to do, and there's some spiders. But the majority of it is just amazing. And so that was the thing I was using as my model. But that's how I do my session prep. Is I will do these kinds of notes, and then if I need to look into the rules that I need to look at for that session, I can do that by pulling up Demiplane. Demiplane's a great site. So let me scroll up here. I can fairly quickly pull up, like, what does that discipline do? Okay, it's an Auspex discipline, and it's just there, and I can read what the die rolls are required, and it saves me having to go through a bunch of books. It's very much like D&D Beyond style thing, except with other games. They do have Vampire. They also have Hunter and a few other things. Pathfinder, Avatar. Like, there's a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I've got these books on here, so everything in them is indexed, and I can find them. So it's relatively easy for me, and I can look up what does that flaw do? What does that? Look up the Bahari for reasons.
For reasons.
Look. I'm a helper, see, and it's got a list of all the lore sheets and so on. So I can just look all of that up relatively quickly, and I've built characters in that for some of the characters that people would run into. So Clarence Gold, I've got a character sheet for him. Steve Francis.
Jeremiah, Tekka was asking if you pay for Demiplane.
Yeah, so you buy the books, obviously, and they do have a subscription model so that you can share your books with your friends, and it gives you access to more characters. But you don't have to subscribe. But buying the books, you are buying the books, but they cost less than if you bought them in print or PDF, honestly. So,
I mean, it looks like they're about the same as the PDF.
Yeah, the PDF, I think, is in the 20s per book.
Yeah, these are $29 per book, it looks like.
Yeah, but as you can see, they also handle other games. So
yeah,
but yeah, I am a fan of using the tool set. It helps me when I'm running the game to be able to just quickly pull up anything I'm looking for, rather than let me grab this book and oh wait, I've only got this one in PDF, and just makes it easier. So those are the tools I use, and that's my
They don't have Ghoul's sheet yet on Demiplane. Otherwise, I would have been very happy.
yeah, that's one I would like them to fix. Is good. yeah, it looks good. It does what I need it to, but anyways, those are the tool. That's how I do my session prep, and that's the tool I use during session, honestly, to pull up like rules and such when somebody asks me, rather than because my memory's all right, but it's not perfect. I can't memorize every rule for every game I play.
So what I did, I don't know if you're interested in hearing this, but I subscribed to ChatGPT, and you can create custom GPTs. So I took all of my PDFs and I threw them into a custom GPT. So it's like a AI searchable database essentially of all of the V5 stuff. It's kind of cool. I think I can share it actually if anyone's interested, but it's just general.
Okay. I've tended to steer away from most of the AI tools for various reasons.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's at least a good use of the tool. Any other questions?
Yeah, ask away, folks.
Yeah, ask if there are any secrets that haven't been revealed that you'd like to know the answer to.
Questions about the characters, and we are free to ask away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will ask a question of Wex.
Yeah.
What's where do you want Ollie to end up?
You mean like ideal scenario? At this point, I think I want him like hanging out in like the Feywood with this person he can't remember. But not really. I'm just kidding. That's. I mean, no. I think realistically speaking, I'd like to see at some point Ollie reunited with his sire, even though that seems impossibly difficult. And by impossibly difficult, I mean like obviously it's getting into the SI stronghold inside of the Statue of Liberty seems like a really, really like not something Ollie's gonna be very good at. So, but I'd like to see him at least try. I think at some point. And that's one thing. I think being reunited with his sire would be great. I think exploring this new parental dynamic is going to be fun. Yes. I'm really kind of excited about like that also aspect of it, of like having this apparently very attention seeking on one level, but also very annoyed and complaining a lot Toreador Childer, and see how that goes. So I'm looking forward to those things, I think, the most right now. But honestly, wherever this whole craziness goes, I'm more than happy to explore it. It's always a delight. So
yeah, Techo's suggesting that you really just need a good team to break her out. Break him out, actually.
Him out, yeah.
I was about to be like, that would be a plot twist if Rex was a girl, and this whole time we're thinking that Rex. It's now my headcanon that.
I mean, now that you say it out loud, it actually seems like to be even better with the case.
It would make too much sense that Ollie was a Vulgiri without even knowing it.
Yeah. No.
Give Ollie the flesh crafting. Give him vicissitude.
Oh, I don't think he wants that.
No.
Yes,
but no, I don't want that.
No. His encounters with flesh crafting were not fun for him.
He'd find out he has it. Wex would add it to the sheet as a joke, and he would accidentally use it and be like, "I don't like this. No. Maybe no.
I made my own pancake. It's not okay.
Yeah, no. All right. So, Katie. We've got another question. So, dream discipline for the character. That they could go to both of you.
That could go to both of us.
You want to go first?
You go first.
I don't have a good answer, honestly. Like, there's a part of me that really would like to have like full on 5 dots in presence.
Yes.
And there's part of me because like I've still never used entrancement. I have it. I've never used it in character. And there's part of me that would be like, you know what? I want 5 dots in celerity because I'm tired of people doing things to me that I don't want done to me. It's not fun. Tired of being
sorry
staked
that your
randomly.
entire coterie has been presenting people and you're the only dude.
Fine. Nah, it's fine. I'm okay with that. I enjoy being the punching bag, and it's like really in line with what the character does and how he thinks. So I'm perfectly fine with that. It's sort of what I built him for.
Pull the curtain back a little bit and say that one of Gold's convictions is never harm a woman.
That's why Ollie gets bullied, and I felt so bad when I learned it becoming his ghoul. I'm like, oh, that makes too much sense.
So
we're not gonna poke the bear now.
So he gets really angry and can't take it out on anyone except Ollie.
So what you're saying is I need to get those 5 dots in celerity so he can try to, and I can just dodge. Like, what?
Do we forget how fast that man is?
Yeah, that's why I need 5 dots in celerity to make sure I can dodge it.
Yeah, that's fair. How about you, Katie? What's your dream discipline? Sage.
Well, as a ghoul, let me go over to the discipline list. I think it would be fun for her to have like blood sorcery or oblivion. Just because I think a ghoul with one of those two, even though you can only get like the first 2 dots as a ghoul or 2 first levels as a ghoul, I think that would be terrifying if like a ghoul all of a sudden was like, bam.
2 questions. 1, can a ghoul actually learn rituals?
I have not seen any rules that say otherwise.
Interesting. And 2, the idea of Sage with corrosive vitae is amazing.
Oh, no.
I can just see it now.
No, because you know what I would get for her? Because it's a first level Caldunic sorcery.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
I could see everything.
Yeah, that would be harder on
a ghoul because you do have to hurt yourself.
Yeah, you have to hurt yourself. So maybe
it would still be fun.
No.
Maybe just get embraced.
The best one for ghoul is Shape the Sacred Sacrament.
Yes, I was just looking at that, and I'm like, that one would be really good too.
Because I'm going to clean up all this bloody mess that you made. So.
I also just laughing to myself if like a ghoul had taste for blood.
Sure.
Also good. Sage, I'm gonna lick it. No, don't do that. Don't do it.
Listen, I've been ghouled to 2 Malgavians. It wouldn't be the first time I've seen someone put shit in their mouth. But I think like oblivion would be like another like terrifying thing for a ghoul to have, which is why it's like
well,
yeah.
Have you thought about stopping the ghoul train and pursuing something else?
I have not.
Okay.
I am currently very content playing a ghoul right now. And I have told you, and I will peel back the curtain for the crowd a little bit. When I say I want Sage to be a Kindred, I gave Jeremiah a full list of clans I want to play that I have yet to play yet. And it was like, you pick one for Sage and I will make the sheet.
Have you picked one and made her make the sheet yet?
No.
That's the first step. Make her make the sheet,
also,
and then she
my
fall in love with
private
it. Like, I want to
is
play
a lot
it.
of me yelling at him for red herrings he's been placing about Sage's father, because as a player, I don't know who her father is, and the fact that he hinted Francis could be a potential candidate makes me worried.
How do you know it's a red herring and not what's actually the thing?
Because the amount of people that have just been like fatherly-ish, or like he's been like, oh yeah, this guy has a daughter, and I'm like,
And, so you don't want to swear off the ghoul blood and try and go mage?
Eventually, I was thinking it. Because the more you talk about the mages, and, like, we meet new mages, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, this would be down, like, this sounds like a fun thing to play, and with Sage's current path, this would be a fun mage to play. Oh, no, this is a cooler one. I like this one better.
Yep. You've all met three...
We've met
three different...
We've met three so far.
Flavors of mage.
We met Morty, the homeless dude. We have Ronaldo in the apartments, who's a little delulu at the moment.
You got Morty in the garbage bin behind your
and
shop.
We met the guy in the orange tracksuit. I can't remember his name.
Charlie.
And why do we have 4 Charlies in this game? And they all spell their name.
There's the mage, there's the 2 Charlies.
And then the dog that Amelia adopted. Because Andi forgot that the 2 gangrel were named Charlie. That's why I was cracking up so much when it's like, I'm gonna name him Charlie. And I'm like, Andy's being a little bit meta right now, and I love it. And Andy's like, no, I genuinely forgot that the 2 gangrel were named Charlie and Charlie.
I mean, Amelia wasn't there. So, I mean,
but that's why it was so much funnier. Because it's like Amelia wasn't there, but Andi and I put our commentary in the server.
Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah.
So far, what has been your favorite moments in the game?
Ooh. That's a toughie.
There's been a lot of them.
There's been a lot of, like, really good moments.
I mean, one of them I think would be the Lost episode, which I won't talk about too much.
Yeah, I think it was our little vignettes, and I would love to do another set of those. Especially because it's like, at least for the audience, I feel it also, like, sets the characters, like, a little bit more of the characters' personal stories. Without taking time away from the table, where it's like, yeah, no, we can definitely explore more into Ollie and what makes him tick. We can explore more into Amelia and Prue. I know it's not much. It's just
a little hamster. Little wheel,
I was about to say the hamster is not even like on the wheel. It's just like sitting next to the wheel at the water bottle, but the water bottle's empty and it's just frustrating.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
And I like those little moments, and I wish we didn't lose that footage. I wish the footage didn't get corrupted, because that would have been amazing for everyone to see why Feather was like, yeah, the Diablerie duck, and why all of us were just like, what the hell are you on?
Yeah.
I will say that the recent episode with Prunella and Ollie, like, that was a really good episode, I thought, like, for Ollie and Prunella. Like, it was, and there were a lot of really good moments in there, like the whole, like, letting Prunella fight for herself with Ollie's convictions was really hard. And then, like, but still being a protector in the end was good. I think that sort of, like, established a certain level of, like, I don't know, trust is the wrong word, but, like, maybe it's the right word, I don't know, but, like, I think it sort of cemented Prunella and Ollie's relationship as, like, you know, almost like siblings in some ways. And I don't know. It was just, that was a really cool moment that I was not expecting. Also, the whole walking down the dark path with a leopard friend was fun.
Like, watching it without Sage's headspace, I'm like, they're such badasses, and I would totally want to, like, hang out with them. Just a random guy walking with a leopard, like, let me be their friend. But again, as Sage's headspace, I'm sitting here like, oh my god, they're gonna get themselves killed. What the fuck are they doing? And I love that episode for you too.
Yeah, it was
like
good.
Sitting there watching it, I'm like, this definitely solidified their connection. Whatever it may be, it definitely made that connection for them stronger. And I would love more episodes like that. Like, even if it was just like 2 people, like, like Prue and Amelia, like potentially talking about the Ventru issues between the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. For everybody who's just joining, we're doing a Q&A episode.
I'll put this up until we get another question. This way, when they come in, they could see.
Yeah. A couple of our players were feeling under the weather tonight. We hadn't done one of these in a while. What's the deal with Amelia?
Oh.
All right. I will reveal some things that have been revealed. So Amelia is a ghoul who was under one of Prunella's broodmates, and when there was an assassination of her dominator, she took the opportunity to run, and she showed up in Newark looking for a new life and got adopted by the local ghouls.
We pack bonded to her.
Yeah, they pack bonded with her, and
I've pack bonded to all the ghouls.
And honestly, everybody on the cast watched the episode. Were like, "Can we keep her?" And I was like, "I mean, if you're all on board, sure, I'll ask." But yes, so Amelia is
Ollie's ghoul.
Ollie's ghoul.
Kind of.
I think the thing with Amelia is she has sort of taken the role I think Sage had early on, in that she is the sane one to a certain extent. She's the one that is the most connected to normal.
And I would say, with the age difference between Amelia and Sage and how long both of them have been ghouls, it makes a lot of sense. And it makes a lot of sense that Sage has now fallen into this role of, like, spiraling.
Yeah. Sage has too many things pulling on her at once. Amelia has done her best to free herself from her past. Oh, you want Eileen?
Fuck off, Eileen. Oh, I'll swear I'll be clean.
That bitch. I mean.
So Eileen is a member of Bahari.
Screw Eileen.
And some people join the Anarch movement for ideological reasons. They think that the world will be, that being a Kindred can be better, and they want to try and create a better version of Kindred society and all that. Eileen's not that. Eileen looked at the Anarch movement and went, "Oh, that's an excellent way to advance," and has been manipulating the Anarch movement ever since she joined. She's ruthless and is a true believer as far in Lilith as a Bahari, and believes that she needs to make a sacrifice. And she thinks she found the right person for that sacrifice. And she's not very good with being told no. But
did she make herself the sacrifice? That seems better for everyone involved.
I think that would make it so much better for everyone.
Yeah. It is, and she has an ally, Liz, who is a member of the Hekata, who is also a Bahari, and she aids Eileen. But yeah, Eileen is the cheerful girl who is utterly ruthless. Like she's all sweetness and light on the surface, and then you see, what are you doing?
I'm playing with the things. Ignore me. I have powers on this channel. Leave me alone.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Eileen she's a Ventru. She's a powerful Ancilla Ventru. That's a Bahari. She's of the same bloodline as Prue. Just she's the broodmate of Prue's sire. So that's why she gets called the Ant.
The lovely ant.
Mm-hmm.
Auntie Eileen.
She did give Sage and Bryce headaches.
Yes, because her particular mastery is dominating.
Ooh, this is a good question. Favorite NPC and your favorite NPC to play.
It's hard. I mean, it depends on the day to a certain extent, obviously, but overall, it's got to be Francis. He's so fun to play.
I would have guessed Feather's mom, but you know.
Feather's mom was always a hoot just because it gave a nice little humanizing element and a comedic moment at the same time.
And it's sad that Feather's mom hasn't called Sage in a while, but I get why we haven't done it.
Yeah.
I mean, Ollie's mom could call any time. You don't know.
I don't think she would call Sage though.
No, probably not.
But I mean, I know everyone's expecting me to say Bryce, and as much as I love Bryce because Sage's boyfriend, I don't know if I would say he's my favorite. And I have to I'm going through the list of all the NPCs we've met so far. Actually, we have the list on our server. So let me go look at that.
I mean, it was Hawk, and now Hawk is sort of
yeah, Hawk is now a guest SPC. Yeah, I love all the ghouls. I would love to do more scenes with the player ghouls, the guests.
We
schedules.
Should have Sully on sometime or Havoc.
Yeah, well. I would love to do little sessions with them, hanging out with the coterie and being like, I'm sorry, Amelia and Sage, this is what you hang out with. I like Gold, partially because now being his ghoul, I've learned a little bit more about him, and it's really fascinating to see as a character. I love Alice, but anytime you have an alternative grungy character, I'm just it's like catnip to me. I'm like, yes, my people. I'm loving what you're doing with Miranda. It's hard for me to narrow it down to one. Because Katie as a player is just sitting here oh, she likes the bad boys. She's going to be a problem and that's going to be fun to deal with. Sage is just you better not come near my boy. No. You don't want to mess with that one. That one will kill you. Billy's another one that I'm I really love.
How about you, Ollie?
I do really like Billy. Miranda is starting to grow on me. I'm loving to hate her out of character and loving the dynamic in character. Billy, is fantastic. The Gangrel Charlies were also really good. I want more from both of them. And if I'm being completely honest, I do really enjoy the second eldest, whatever we're calling him. But also I don't want to have to deal with him because holy crap, that's a scary SPC. But yeah, they're all. I mean, they're all fun. I enjoy all the characters you play, Jeremiah. I do miss Feather's mom as well. So
I will confess, I also really enjoy doing Prunella.
Prunella is fun. this is one of the few games where it's really difficult for me to be like, no, this is my absolute favorite NPC, because like they all bring a different thing to the story, and they all, even if they are like have a similarity to another NPC, they're all unique too in their own way.
Yeah. I'll say this about Ronaldo, and you can tell me I'm completely off base, Jeremiah. I have this like weird like thing where like Ronaldo is Jeremiah's proxy in this game, and he's like developing the character, restoring him back to like his eventual, hopefully once power.
So the origin of Ronaldo's characterization was somewhat subconscious, and then I realized it after the fact. He is largely based off of a character from a show called Fringe.
Yes, you told us. Yeah, yeah.
Walter
You
Bishop.
just said that.
Once I realized that, I just leaned into it. It's like, oh yeah, he is absolutely Walter Bishop.
It's a good show.
So yeah, he's Walter Bishop if he was a mage.
Which is terrifying when you think about it.
Yeah,
it's so terrifying.
I will say when I'm coming up with NPCs, I think one of the things I think about is what's their role, like what are they there to do in the story, and if they're going to be recurring, I need them to be lived in a little bit. Like they need to have more than just a shtick. Like I know Steve Francis's past. I know who he is. And so I can. He has more to him than he shows some of the times, and every once in a while I get to show it, and people will like, oh, okay,
like the basement.
Like the basement
that we've yet to explore, because I want to explore the basement. Sage doesn't want to go near it.
I mean, to a certain extent, the whole bit with Cecil was him showing he's not just the weird sleazy guy. Like he's kind of scary. You should be afraid of him.
Yeah.
But yeah. As to the character of Hawk, Hawk came to be because Pecco, who's in our chat, made a suggestion. You need like a Tremere ghoul that, you know, like that's awesome. I was like, you know what, I can do something with that. So I created Hawk, and Hawk was supposed to be kind of ridiculous, and he just stuck around for a bit. So yeah, and I told Pecco, oh hey, it's Mouse. Hi Mouse.
Hi Mouse. We're talking about your boyfriend.
Oh,
was it Alice? Was that comment the mate wanted to make a pass at Hawk in front of Prue?
I think we're talking about Miranda.
Oh God. Prue, please don't kill my child.
Miranda wanted to make a pass on all the baddies, and we had a bunch of them. We had Hawk, we had Bryce, we had Anthony, who, as a player, when I found out, because I knew about Anthony the second I picked Gold as my new Dominator. Whatchamacallit? I have a list of things that I have been keeping from the other players that I have learned. And Anthony was supposed to be one that you all never found out about, and then he just shows up, and I'm sitting here as a player like, I wasn't supposed to tell them who Anthony is. Okay, I need to come up with a code name in case Anthony doesn't want them to know he's Anthony. Hi, Uncle, whatever I called him, and he's just looking at me, and I'm like, I don't know if you want them to know you're Anthony or not, so I'm not going to call you Anthony until you say something. Please don't kill me, because from what I got in my notes about you, you're terrifying, and I don't want to mess with you.
Yeah. Yeah, Anthony is interesting. You'll run into him again. He is an interesting fellow. I mean, I think I asked this the last time we did a Q&A. Is there anything that we haven't run into that you want us to sort of touch on?
Mummy, kidding.
No.
Kidding.
Mummy, demons, whatever. It's fine.
Listen,
It's not like we have we've done like changeling stuff. We've done mage stuff, werewolf stuff, hunter stuff. Like
we touched a little bit on Wraith with Annabelle and Cecil.
Oh, right, yeah, Wraith as well.
I would like to see a little bit more werewolves. Like, I know Mouse mentioned that last time, too. Wanting to see a little bit more werewolf, just because...
Yeah.
It's fascinating, their lore.
You want us to... Is one flesh tunnel not enough for you?
We need to handle the first one. We haven't... We've just been ignoring it.
Never enough.
We've just been ignoring that. And the amount of people... that yell at me and Jeremiah when we talk about this game that are like, it's across the street from your apartments and you haven't handled it. You just left it there since the beginning of your game. We're like, yeah.
Look, I've considered my options. I've also considered getting, Suffice the Edifice? Is that the one where you can, like, infuse Daunt into a building? I've thought that maybe is a thing I could do.
That would actually be really good.
Yeah.
I want you to get Wingman, but then I reread the rules and you can't use it on ghouls, and it made me so upset. Because all of a sudden you're just like, you touch like Amelia or Sage and you're just giving us majesty. Like, that would have been so terrifying, but the rules specify it has to be a vampire, and I was so upset.
Oh man, I would do it too.
I know you would. And you know why I didn't pick Ollie as my Dometer? Because of a choice I know you would make as a character. Oh, Sage has blood empathy. I want to feel what she's feeling from my emotions. Let me share the senses.
I didn't think of that, but now that you say it, yeah, it's also real mad. You're like, let me resist your ride along attempts, rude.
And who did you almost pick?
Yeah, I almost picked Eileen.
Of course you did. That doesn't shock me at all.
I literally that night when I was sitting there like, all right, I'm narrowed between seriously Francis and Gold, because both of them player-wise, because I was looking at it as a player-wise standpoint at that point, had really good disciplines that I think would be interesting for Sage, and story-wise would be interesting for Sage. And then all of a sudden I had like that aha moment. I'm like, what if I just messed with everyone at the table and didn't tell them I picked Eileen and made them think I picked someone else? And then Mouse had the reaction when I was like, yeah, I almost picked Eileen. I'm like, how dare you?
You want a New York heist? I can see what we can do about a New York heist.
I have one planned. I have to steal my sire from the Statue of Liberty.
I think that would actually be fun, as terrifying words as it is. I think that would be a fun session for everyone.
Oh yeah, a heist story is always a hoot. It's a weird game for a heist. Vampire is often about things going wrong, and heists are very much about not having things go wrong. Like you've already got a plan in place for the thing that went wrong, that kind of thing. But I have some notions.
We're not really built for heists, but it's fine. As a coterie, no.
I'm getting there. The ghouls are getting there.
Gold's 11. Yeah, that
11. Gold's what, 4, 5, 4.5 if you include Hawk.
Well, I mean, you've also got the possibility of Havoc and Sully.
Mm-hmm.
Ronaldo, potentially. And of course, we can't forget the cow. Bring the cow. Sure how that's going to work into the
Yeah, we got to bring the cow. I think that would just confuse CSI, and that would be a good distraction now that I think about it.
Just release a cow on the Statue of Liberty and see what they do. And then when they're all panicking, sneak in. Yes, it's an excellent. That's a terrible plan. What was the cow? Is the cow's name? Is it Betsy? No.
I thought it was originally
Daisy?
Betsy, and then all of a sudden people were calling it Daisy one day, and I'm like, have I just been missing the name? Did I just completely mishear the name?
The name is Daisy. It's just people called it Betsy for a little bit.
Well, Betsy's a cow name.
Yeah, so's Daisy.
I've never
Those
met a
hamburgers.
cow named Daisy. I've met a lot of cows named Betsy.
I think going back to favorite episodes, you all picked some good ones, but I gotta say, my favorite to do. Why is my phone going nuts? My favorite to do was the Halloween episode, Carnival.
It was good.
That was good.
Like,
That was also around our 1 year.
yeah,
Yeah.
And we're almost at 2.
yeah, and we're coming up on 2. But yeah, I liked how that. I liked running it. I liked being able to sort of play with temptation and regret, which is kind of the theme for that, is temptation and regret.
I really enjoyed that episode too. I will say, out of character, I wanted to explore all the things.
Oh yeah,
But in
out of
character, we're all like, no, this is a terrible idea. We shouldn't touch any of this stuff. Like, just in and out. I'm like, okay. I want to play with the strength thing. I want to
Ooh,
do
that
this.
was a good one too, Mouse. The one with the storage units.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
with
Good.
the stolen art and
Which I need to go back to and get more art from, apparently, because I apparently gave away some really expensive works of art.
yeah. But the nature of the show is I have to lean into a bit of silliness every once in a while, and a lot of the time you all do sort of take the lead on that and lean into the silly for me, so I don't have to do much. But yeah, I think the reason the Carnival episode is my favorite is I got to do something that was unabashedly, this is a Halloween episode. This is a decent horror story on its own. So,
You're right. Mouse fighting a bear is not silly. Though we were talking about how cool that scene was for your characters.
yeah, it was a good scene. You all got to be pretty awesome in that whole session, honestly.
I'll like, candidly, I'm thinking back. This has been, what, a year and a half now, give or take?
Yeah,
2
a little
years?
bit more. Yeah.
October Halloween will be 2 years.
Yeah. So, thinking back about like all the episodes we've done, some of them stand out more, but like there's not a single game I've played in that have left where I'm like, like
Like,
you know,
that was
not a single. I mean, and that's a completely credit to, I think, both you, Jeremiah, as well as the other players at the table. It's just like, I think we have really good chemistry, and I think that you put really amazing stories in front of us. Sometimes we follow them, sometimes we fuck around because that's kind of
We wanna
what we
find out.
are. I mean, more like, not even the fuck around to find out part. I mean, more like we just sort of fuck off and not do the thing that we probably should be doing. And I'm sorry, but that's sort of what you signed up for, and I think you roll with that fantastically. But like, no matter what we end up doing, like, it's always, I think, he's supposed to be the best friend ever, Mouse. Like, it's like he's a good buddy, like a reliable friend. But yeah, like I don't know. I can't think of a single episode where I'm like, that wasn't great. But if you all have what your least favorite episode is, like, we could go there.
Least favorite.
Yeah.
Good question.
Right? Like, I can't think of one. Like,
I think the one where you took out the hunter didn't feel like it landed right. Like, it was still fun. Everybody had fun. I had fun. But like on a narrative direction level, I was like, it didn't quite land the way
It didn't hit as hard as it could have.
Yeah.
yeah, I could see that. I mean, yeah, I think I will say that the way we took him down was almost anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it made sense. But yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it makes sense.
Because at least from like Sage's standpoint, that was one of the more impactful scenes in my opinion for her, because she's like, wow, I really am useless. And that was like the start of when Sage was questioning if she was going to be a free ghoul or if she was going to go Kindred. And I think it was around that moment where I was like, hey, Jeremiah, here's my list. Because that was one of those few moments where it's like, I think I want her to be embraced, but I also feel this is too soon. So at least from like that standpoint, like, but yeah, the like taking him down officially, that part I can definitely see where it was like,
it didn't land quite with the feel I wanted it to, but that said, everybody seemed to have fun. I had fun running it, so it's not a bad thing. It was just sort of if I have to look for one, that's probably the one.
If the worst episode you've said you like the Hunter takedown finale, like it says like quite a bit about like I think the quality of our other episodes, like because it was still a like really solid episode across the board. But yeah, that final scene with the fight and the Hunter and the grenade.
I will forever be angry that we lost the video of the vignette of Feather talking to the duck.
Yeah,
because I deliberately set it up so that if she told anyone what happened during the session, she would sound crazy.
It worked, especially because I know for some of our other vignettes, we were sitting in our little StreamYards like waiting area, and you could still see what was going on in the session and hear everything. And I know a few people were sitting there for Sages, and I was getting commentary from the players about like, just kill him. And I'm like, why would I do that? I don't have the dots to kill the Hunter right now, even though he's cornered me in the middle of the day. Yeah. But none of us saw Feathers. I know that because hers was the first one filmed. She had availability earlier in the day, and it made it more sense that none of us genuinely knew what happened.
The fallout of that episode was so much, and that the guest shot that we had at the time, for those who might be watching and don't know, we had Rev, Dan McBride, TikToker, Rev DMG, I think is his handle.
DMC, I think. Yeah, Rev DMC.
Rev DMC.
Tiny Bard's dad.
Tiny Bard's dad, yeah. He played Feather's sire, and he showed up for an episode and got diablerized, and somehow still managed to be funny. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that was the duck. I think one thing I'd like, I will probably. I do have a heist like so in mind, so I'll be interested to see if we all jump on it. I enjoy tossing in the bits of mage. If somebody's watching this somewhere else, I've been doing my own homebrew rules for mage in this paradigm of World of Darkness. And I've been sort of experimenting with that when I have them on camera. But I've been enjoying tossing bits of that. I don't want to toss in so much that it distracts from the everything else, though. So I just try and put them in there. And I have the weirdo be the one that you deal with regularly because it fits the tone. But I've enjoyed doing the Changeling references. I think that was fun. I liked doing the war for control of Newark.
That was good.
That was fun.
And you all trying to figure out how to deal with Eileen. I
would love to have a scene where we're actually talking to Bellagio.
Yeah, I need to.
We need to get that guest.
Yeah. I have a potential guest that I just need to get it nailed down, and part of that's on me. But yeah,
That would be a really interesting episode.
it would.
If I star it, does it save it? Don't mind me playing right in the background, folks. I'm being a nuisance.
No, never.
Me, chaotic and making a mess of things? Never.
Yeah.
I know you had a question for me earlier, Jeremiah, and then we started getting questions in.
Yeah, I think I eventually asked you those, like, where you were going with the character. Where do you see her going? Like,
Currently, I kind of just see Sage going down this path of dealing with her addiction and coping with all of that and coming to terms that she, like her mother, is an addict, just in a different sense of it.
yeah.
That's rough, but I like that. That's yeah.
Listen, the fact that her backstory has become a lot more prevalent, and Sage is like, I put that part of my life behind me. I don't know what y'all are talking about. I'm fine, and everyone's like, you're not.
I do try and give everybody a chance to actually feel something. Like, it's not just surface level silliness and, let's go on adventures. I want there to be moments for everybody to have feelings about what's going on. Make them feel something. Make you feel something, then I feel like I'm doing my job right.
I will say that I think in part because of the nature of the initial concept and the way we all sort of created our very suboptimal characters who are very, in a lot of ways, flawed. Not just like with typical flaws, but like just the way the characters exist is somewhat flawed and not necessarily like the best of what they could be potentially. I feel like it creates an element of almost realism, which is weird to say considering like this is a horror comedy, but like the characters I feel like are more real than a lot of vampire characters I've run into and played with before, with some exceptions, but like they're flawed in ways that are not like, I guess, predictable, and they're not like they're definitely not cliche and yeah. So I think it's a really interesting like even though we all have ridiculous amounts of experience at this point, like if we had been min-maxing, we would all be ridiculously overpowered.
We'd be terrifying.
But we're not.
No.
So we're just sort of like la-di-da. Like it's fine. I'm not complaining about that. I'm not saying we should have been. But like we've been doing this for almost 2 years now. If we had been power gamers, we would probably just be able to kill everything that came across our way, and we would be like whatever barons, and it'd be boring. Like it wouldn't. I don't know.
We would have been the barons of this disparity at this point.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like it. I like it, and I like that. In a way, it also gives, I think, the game and the worlds more longevity.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes the world feel more real compared to other vampire games.
Yeah.
And like, especially because like I SPC in a bunch of them, and I play in 2 consistently. Like, yes, like the one where I am a player, I sit there and I'm like, yes, like these are real people I would meet in society. But I kind of agree with Lex. Like, I feel I would meet this group of people more likely than the Ventru mobster or like the like Toreador painter. Like, I would definitely, I would definitely be more likely to run into a struggling artist compared to like.
I have a gallery opening every other week. Yeah.
Or like an up and coming like fashion designer who lives near New York but is in Jersey. Like they definitely feel a lot more real. compared to some of the other characters where it's like, no, I min-max them to be a hitman. I min-max them to be this super knowledgeable dude.
Yeah, I think they're part of standard vampire fiction, really modern vampire fiction, is this sort of competence porn, I guess, is what I've heard it referred to as times, where they're impossibly good at whatever they do, right? They're
Unless you're me, and I purposely make them bad at things.
well, they're brilliant martial artists, and everybody is easily seduced by them, and they're fabulously wealthy, and like they are presented in the manner that is the case, and which there's some value in that, honestly. Like, people are having fun with it, and it shows up in fiction for a reason. It does. When y'all brought the game to me and been like, hey, we want you to run this, I was like, I was like, okay, well, we're going to kind of fly into the face of standard vampire tropes, if that's the case. Like, once it was said, hey, we kind of want something a little more like what we do in the shadows, I was like, oh, okay. So everybody's a bit of a misfit, and I try and make room for your characters to be misfits.
Yeah, and you do a great job of it, right?
Some of the comedy comes from the fact that you're dealing with characters who aren't, and they're like, I don't know what to do with you.
I mean, Ollie is kind of mid-max, but to do the thing that he doesn't like doing, so...
Right, but can you picture Ollie showing up in your standard vampire fiction?
No, probably not.
No.
No, that's the point. Like, yeah.
You run into characters that would fit into standard vampire fiction fairly often.
Yeah.
And they don't know what to do with the misfits. They're like, you're weird. I don't know where to put you.
We're just going to put you over here for now and see what happens.
Another thing that I've enjoyed doing this particular season, I guess, is I've made the point of, you have made an impression on the area that you're in.
Yeah.
Like, you've dealt with a bunch of crap. Everybody knows it.
I just realized something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this was intentional or not, but I think April a year ago we had the Baron's tax season.
Uh-huh.
We didn't have a tax season episode.
No, we did.
Not yet.
I mean, yeah, I guess it could have been delayed because of the whole uprising and whatnot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
At the time that it would have normally happened, he was dealing with...
I also think we were on our break.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. It's also, yeah.
I think that was around the time of our break. Because I was like, wait, did I file my taxes? Oh, wait, I did.
Yeah.
Did I file my real world taxes this year?
But yeah, I hope, and it doesn't always survive encounters with real life, but I hope this, for the rest of the season, where I'm going to try and have more guests, probably more of the ghouls that have been on for the Oops All Ghouls, and have some of them show up. I'd like to get Bellagio in, but that's going to be a thing that I need to negotiate. But I like when we have guests who fit within the narrative, and get where we're going. I don't think I would want just like random people. I would want people who genuinely we would feel comfortable playing with. Because that's always going to be the thing. Like, chemistry is everything for this.
Mm-hmm.
If chemistry isn't there, it's not going to work.
I would say yeah, obviously that we feel comfortable and there's good chemistry, but like also who understands like what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
To like the previous conversation we just had, like we don't need your I typically fit in and work well in normal vampire society type of character, right? Like if you're gonna fit into an interview with a vampire script, we don't necessarily need that character here.
Yeah, or if they are that, they're there.
Like you're aware we're gonna be the stupid people.
Yeah.
Yes.
The people that it's like, I'm sorry, why were you all embraced in your respected clans?
Yeah.
I mean, I know why I was embraced.
Are we sure this isn't just a clan, like a coterie of Malkavians that are all in denial of their Malkavianness?
Do you want to know why Ollie was embraced?
I am genuinely curious, as like Katie, but I also love hearing other character stories.
So Ollie was just taking his artwork to another gallery after countless rejections, and was meeting with Rex, who is a Kindred, and two Kindred were there to assassinate him, or showed up to assassinate him in the middle of his meeting. And Ollie accidentally, not accidentally, like purposefully, but like not knowing what they were, took them both down because he was, just ridiculously strong, and they were not expecting that kind of resistance. And so Rex, instead of killing him or getting rid of him because of the whole Masquerade situation, embraced him, and because he had just saved his life. So that's why Ollie was embraced, regardless of his lack of maybe skill. He's pretty. He's pretty a little bit, so there's that for the Toreador side of him. But
he's very pretty.
He's got. I think he's got.
Does he got beautiful or stunning?
So beauty. This is beautiful. He's not stunning. He's just beautiful.
He's still pretty. He's still got pretty privilege.
Still got pretty privilege. Absolutely. But yeah, like that was like why he ended up embraced. It wasn't because of anything but the fact that he was actually a really good bodyguard as a mortal and would have been a much better bodyguard as a Kindred. So that's why he was embraced. So
well, I think we've done this for about a little over an hour.
Yeah.
I think we've answered and asked all the really good questions, unless somebody in chat has a good question for us.
Wait like a minute or two, see if any more pop up.
Yeah, see if anybody else has got a question we haven't covered.
Actually, I have a question for Wax, because I've asked Jeremiah this.
Okay.
What clan would you like to see Sage as?
Oh, I want to see her as a mage, absolutely. 100%.
Not even a Kindred. You want to see
I mean, if I had to choose, if I had to choose a Kindred clan instead of mage, just because I think that having a mage in our little group who's learning to be a mage, probably from Ronaldo, would be fantastic. On so many levels, it would just be amazing and just the weirdness we need. From a character perspective or from a personal perspective, like Wax as a player wants to see Katie play a Lasombra at some point.
Ooh, okay.
I think Ollie just wants Sage to be happy, honestly. Like whatever she chooses. But if he had to choose, he would probably want to see her be a Bruja.
Okay.
Like, it's Ollie speaking. Wax wants to see you as a Lasombra. Ollie would like to see you as a Bruja because he likes the Bruja and can relate to them. And also, like, he understands that they're a little bit of a philosopher, and Sage has a little bit of that in her, I think. So, but also he wants someone else to punch things with. But
You all have run into a Lasombra.
Yeah, we're not letting that one embrace me. No.
Unless we do the whole Lasombra thing and they embrace you and then you eat them.
Yeah, because that'll work in my favor.
No, you don't need humanity. It's fine.
Yeah.
We don't need Sage to lose humanity again.
No, we don't.
Yeah, there are two plans I have settled on that if she wants to go vampire, and I'm all in favor of going with mage once I get the rules to a place I think it's playable. But vampire, there are two clans I've come around to thinking would be interesting, and I think one of them is not on her list. I think
Well, I also gave you the list of clans that I haven't played yet.
Right.
I'd be down for playing a clan that I've already played, but I also, the longer I've played this game, the more I've been fascinated in the other clans, and unlike other tabletops, I like genuinely want to play like at least once each clan. Meanwhile, like in D&D, there are just some classes that I'm like, yeah, they're cool, but I have no desire to play them.
I think Sage as a caitiff fits narratively.
Narratively, yes.
I think that works on a narrative level. It's another misfit in with the misfits, and that works. Also, possibly a thin blood, same line of thinking.
Katie, she'll take mortal frailty. We know she will.
Yeah.
Shush.
Oh, am I wrong?
No. No, you're not. What is the worst flaw I could take for this clan? For this character, I had to get talked out of for another character, giving them illiterate. Which meant I would never be able to bump up my intelligence. And the players at that table are so gung-ho of taking me to a library and teaching her like how to read past a certain reading level. Because like she can read. It's just big words are hard.
Yeah.
She knows 2 languages. She's fluent in both of them.
Yeah.
She's just dumb.
She's dumb. But we'll get into that discussion another time. I from a narrative level, also, I wouldn't mind see her as a Salubri, but that's along the same lines of the misfit with the misfits.
That would be fun.
That would be cool.
It would give me an excuse to get a third eye prosthetic.
Yeah, I know.
I need to do that for my other Salubri too.
Well, Katie, can you wear hats and scarves in every episode? Is that
I mean, she already kind of does. I just have to
fair.
Start doing this for days, and I'm like, I don't feel like putting on the third eye. We're just gonna put a hat across my head.
Yeah.
We'll really start feeding back into the hippie aesthetic that she took on for Feather.
Yeah.
But no, those are the ones that come to mind, honestly. I think to fit into the misfit aesthetic, one of the clans that fits misfit. We did joke fairly early on about the possibility of her getting embraced by the second eldest and having her run around with blood potency of 5.
A blood potency of 5. I don't even need Methuselah's thirst at that point. It's just you guys trying to find things I could feed on and now taking care of her.
The comedic value of you all trying to keep her fed so she doesn't go nuts.
Yeah, it'd be good. We have to take care of Sage. This is weird, but okay.
But no. When Katie is ready to make a change one way or the other, that's one thing I do as a game master in general. Somebody says I don't want to arbitrarily put changes on people's characters until I've had a conversation with them. Sometimes they will do something that's kind of like, okay, well, something's going to happen here. Let's have a discussion. Particularly in a game like Vampire, which has heavy consequences. I've given it Diablerie. Oh, okay. Well, we need to figure out why you're not going to die for that. Okay, let's talk this out. Yeah, you should always, as a game master, you should always talk to your players and see what they want and see if you can work it into your plans and make it make sense and fit naturally, but always trying to fit what the players want in, within reason.
Yeah. As a player, if one day, it just genuinely happened in the moment where it's like someone embraced her because she was dying. Hello, bot. We're gonna delete you.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like, I would not be upset if that was like an in the moment decision by like other players or characters. And then I would just sit there and be like, yay! Afterwards, that was great, guys! Now let me go make my character sheet and make you all question my decisions on what flaws I took.
Yeah.
I think that's all the questions.
Yeah, it didn't look like there is any other questions. Yes, me with my flaws. I love flaws.
Yes. We know, Katie. We know.
We don't talk about
And we love you for it.
We do.
Listen, the fact that the fangs got me in trouble.
Yep.
Best moment.
The
Best lost moment, right? That was also lost.
Yeah, that's a lost episode. But yeah, the reason she got staked is because she had the fangs. Cecil's
Baby
like
fangs.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see any more questions. I don't see any we missed.
All right. Well, in that case, thank you for hanging out with us and letting us ramble at you for a while. And we're going to call it a night, but we will be back in 2 weeks. And we will be exploring the wonderful weirdness of Newark. And before I end everything, I think I need to actually tell people who the waitress, what she